we'll start with a new topic, housing. Housing in modern concept includes not only the physical structure providing shelter but also the immediate surroundings and the related community services and facilities. Housing means not only a physical structure like house, it also means that the surroundings, the neighborhood. Okay, it may be defined as all places in which a group of people reside and pursue their life goals. The size of settlement varies from a single family to millions of people. Wherever the people reside or they settle for to achieve their life goals, the settlements or the size of a settlement varies from a person to person or people to millions of people. Okay. The immediate surroundings of residential building are often referred as neighborhood or micro district. Neighborhood also called as micro districts, where around 4 to 5 families are located or residing. WHO, World Health Organization expert group on public health aspects of housing prefers to use the term residential environment. WHO gave the term residential environment in the year 1961. That also means like housing or micro district, also called as neighborhood. Social goals of housing. Which are the social goals of housing? Like shelter, family life, access to community facilities, family participation in community life, economic stability. These are the social goals of housing. The implementation of social goals in housing requires that government should introduce social housing schemes, establish both minimum and maximum standards, create financial and fiscal institutions geared to helping low-income people obtain credit for building and improving their house. So any government should introduce social housing schemes. They should introduce some of the schemes to help the people to build their house, and there should be minimum and maximum standards of housing, and they should get some of the credit if they build a proper housing. So what are the criteria for healthful housing? Healthful housing provides physical protection and shelter. Physical protection from any wind, rain or any harmful environmental material. It provides adequately for cooking, eating, washing and excretory functions. So you can cook, eat, wash, sleep or do any further functions in the house. It is designed, constructed, maintained and used in a manner such as to prevent the spread of communicable diseases. So if you are staying, nowadays the word quarantine is used, that means home quarantine, that means you are staying inside the house to protect yourself from communicable diseases. Provides for protection from hazards of exposure to noise and pollution. So it prevents the noise pollution and other pollution. It is free from unsafe physical arrangements due to construction or maintenance and from toxic or harmful materials. So it gives protection from other harmful materials and physical accidents or construction accidents. There are certain housing standards. Social and economic characteristics such as family income, family size and composition, standard of living, lifestyle, stage in life cycle, education and cultural factors are taken into account. When you build the house or when you select the locality, the family income should be notified, the family size, the composition of a family and how you want to live, the standard of living, which lifestyle you want to use and which stage of life cycle you are in and the education, culture factor, everything you should take in account to build the house or to select the neighborhood. Because of cultural diversity and other factors such as climate and social traditions, standard of housing varies from country to country and from region to region. So, because of the environmental changes or atmospheric changes or cultural changes, diversity, the pattern of living, the social lifestyle, everything changes from region to region or nation to nation. Okay. In short, there cannot be rigid uniform standards. So, there cannot be any particular standards. The standards in India are those recommended by the EHC, that is given in 1947. According to that, there are standards like site. Okay, it should be elevated from its surroundings. Wherever the house you are building, it should be elevated from the surroundings. It should have independent access to a street of adequate width. It should have access to the street. It should be away from the breeding places of mosquito and fleas. It should be away from nuisance such as dust, smoke, smell, excessive noise and traffic. It should be in pleasant surroundings. There should not be any harmful things or any pollution. Soil should be dry and safe for founding the structure and should be well drained. It should be wherever you are building the house, the soil should be dry enough and good drainage should be present. The subsoil water should be below 10 feet. Okay, the water level in the earth water level should be below 10 feet of house. Setback. It is an open space all around the house which allows proper ventilation and lighting. The available space in the house and around the house is called setback. In rural areas, it is recommended that the built-up area should not exceed 1/3 of total area. Total 5 cents. If you are having 5 cents of land, then the house should not exceed more than 3 cents. Okay. In rural areas, it is recommended that these houses should not exceed 1/3 of the total area. In urban areas, it is allowed up to 2/3 of total area. 2/3 means if the person is having 3 cents of land, then up to 2 cents he can build the house, and remaining 1 cent he can keep for further way, street or something. The setback should be such that there is no obstruction for lighting and ventilation. Next, moving to the floor. It should be pakka and satisfy the following criteria. Pakka, there is 2 types, kacha and pakka. Pakka means it is modern technique used and it is well built floor. Okay, by using tiles or concrete or something. Okay, there are certain criteria to build the floor also. It should be impermeable so that easy to clean and dry. So the water should not drain so that it can be cleaned properly. It must be smooth and free from cracks and crevices to prevent the breeding of insects and harborage of dust. So there should not be any cracks. It should be damp proof. The height of the plinth should be 2 to 3 feet, that is 0.6 to 1 meter. And the walls, it should be strong, should have a low heat capacity, weather resistance, unsuitable for harbor of rats and vermin. Means it should be strong enough so that there will be no rats can burrow the walls. Okay, there should not be any growth of any insects, and it should be weather resistance. And the roof, it should not be less than 10 feet in the absence of air conditioning for comfort, should have a low heat transmittance coefficient. Roof should not be less than 10 feet, okay, 3 meter, and in the absence of air conditioning. If it is air conditioned room, up to 7 to 8 feet can be allowed, not less than that. Rooms, it should not be less than 2, at least one of them can be closed for security. The other may be open on one side if that side is a private courtyard. No Number should be increased as per the family members. According to family members, the number of the rooms can be increased. One, at least one to be there for a security room. I mean to sleep or something, and one for the living room. Okay. Floor area should be at least 120 square feet for more than one person, and at least 100 square feet for single person. Okay. If more people, then at least 120 square feet per person, and if one single person, then it is 100 square feet can be allowed. And floor area person should not be less than 50 square meter. So it should not be less than 50 square meter per person in the house. Cubic space, at least 500 cubic feet per capita, preferably 1000 cubic feet. The cubic space means one room, how the area present in one room, that is called cubic space. It should not be less than 500 cubic feet. Okay, 1000 cubic feet also okay, it is allowed. Windows, every living room should be provided with at least two windows, and one of them should open directly onto an open space. Okay, it should be directly open to the outside area. The windows should be placed at a height of more than 3 feet above the ground in living rooms. In the living room, 3 feet above the floor it should be placed. Windows area should be 1/5 of the floor area doors, and windows combined should have 2/5 of the floor area. 1/5 of the floor area, windows area should be 1/5 of the floor area doors. Okay, that means one door, and 1/5 of it should be a window size. Okay, a combined window can be 2/5 of the floor area. Lighting, the daylight factor should exceed 1% over half the floor area. Daylight should focus, or it should be distributed 1% over half the floor area. Kitchen, it must have a separate kitchen, must be protected against dust, smoke, and it should be adequately lighted, provided with a water supply, provided with a sink for washing utensils, and fitted with arrangement for proper drainage. These all the facilities should be available in the kitchen. And the privy, a sanitary privy is a must for every house belonging exclusively to it and readily accessible. Every house should have this privy. Okay, outside use of latrine or anything should not be allowed. Garbage and refuse should be removed from the dwelling at least daily and disposed of in a sanitary manner. Whatever waste you are producing in the house should be removed within 1 day of production, and it is disposed in a sanitary manner. Bathing and washing, house should have facility for bathing and washing belonging exclusively to it and providing proper privacy. There should be proper privacy, and one room should be there for a bathing and washing. And water supply, the house should have a safe and adequate water supply available at all times. Around the clock there should be a water supply. In the rural housing, there is minimum standards. Okay? Those are, there should be at least 2 living rooms. Ample veranda space may be provided. The veranda can be provided, also called as courtyard. Okay? The build-up area should not exceed 1/3 of total area. It should not exceed 1/3 of a total area. There should be a separate kitchen with paved sink or platform for washing utensils. Either you can have sink or some of the platform for the washing utensil. House should be provided with a sanitary latrine. The window area should be at least 10% of the floor area. Okay, for the proper ventilation and lighting, the 10% of the floor area should be kept for the window. There should be a sanitary well or a tube well within a quarter of ample from the house. Near the house there should be a well, okay, for the water facility. It should be sanitary. It is insanitary to keep cattle and livestock in dwelling house. Cattle sheds should be at least 25 feet away from the dwelling houses. A cattle shed should be open on all sides. An area 8 feet into 4 feet is sufficient for each head of cattle. So, the house or a cattle shed, what we call, it should be away from the house, at least 25 feet away from the house, and each cow should have 8 into 4 area for the living. There should be adequate arrangement for the disposal of waste, water, refuse and garbage. Housing and health. How housing is related to health? Poor housing is associated with the following health conditions. Like if the house is not properly built, there is not proper ventilation, no water facility, that will lead to certain health effects. Those are respiratory infections, skin infections, rat infections, arthropod infections, accidents, morbidity and mortality rate will be increased, and there will be psychological effects. What is overcrowding? It refers to the situation in which more people are living within a single dwelling than there is space for, so that movement is restricted, privacy secluded, hygiene impossible, rest and sleep will be difficult. Overcrowding means many people are living together in an area. The person should have at least 50 feet, okay, 50 square feet of area, but here it is overcrowded. There are at the 2 to 3 people living more than 50 feet, square feet. Okay. Overcrowding is a health problem in human dwelling. It may promote the spread of respiratory infections such as TB, influenza and diphtheria, and other communicable diseases also will spread. Like there are measurements like person per room and floor space and all. See here. The degree of overcrowding can be best expressed as a number of person per room, that is, number of person in the household divided by the number of rooms in dwelling. The accepted standards are: one room should be kept for 2 person, 2 room for 3, 3 for 5, 4 for 7, and 5 or more for 10 person. 10 plus 2, 10 plus 4 for additional 1 room. Okay, that is a accepted standard. If more than 2 person in 1 room, then it is overcrowded. Floor space, the accepted standards are 100 square feet for 2 person, 90 to 100 square feet for 1.5 person. 1.5 person is it is counted like that. Okay, a baby or something. 70 to 90 square feet for 1 person, 50 to 70 square feet for half person. Under 50 square feet, no person should be living. So if there are more than 2 person in 110 square feet, then it is called as overcrowding. Sex separation. Overcrowding is considered to exist if 2 person over 9 years of age, not husband and wife of opposite sexes, are obliged to sleep in the same room. Okay. More than if sex separation means if the female and male are living together in a room, like 2 to 3 people, then it is also not accepted here in the overcrowding manner. What are the indicators of housing? In recent years, the use of indicator has become widespread for the measurement of quality of life. The indicators for housing may be classified as physical, economical, social. Under physical, these are based on floor space, cubic space, room height, person per room, rooms per dwelling, environmental quality like air, light, water, noise, sewage disposal, like that. This everything we have discussed already. Okay, physical. Economic indicators, these are cost of building, rental levels, taxes, expenditure on housing. This everything comes under the economic indicators. And social indicators, certain factors were like the following were proposed at an inter-regional seminar on the social aspects of housing organized by the United Nations in 1975. These are the followings. First one, indicators related to prevention of illness. That comes under social indicators itself. First one, frequency of illness due to inadequate sewage and garbage collection. Frequency of illness associated with contaminated water source, and frequency of insect-borne diseases. Due to inadequate sewage and garbage collection, there be a frequency of illness among the people living in the house. Even contaminated water source also will spread the infections. Frequency of illness due to overcrowding, frequency of illness due to accident, frequency of illness due to proximity of animals, access to medical facilities. These are everything comes under indicators related to prevention of illness. Next B, indicators related to comfort. There will be a thermal comfort, that is means temperature, humidity, everything. Acoustic comfort, visual comfort, and spatial comfort. Acoustic means the sound should not be there. Visual means it should be comfortable enough, good lighting, and spatial comfort. There should be enough room. Indicators related to mental health and social well-being. Frequency of suicides in the neighborhood, neglected and abandoned youth in the neighborhood, drug abuse in the neighborhood. This everything comes under the mental health related indicators. What are the public policy? House site and construction assistance. There is one scheme, that is Indira Awas Yojana. It is introduced in the central sector in 1985-1986 as part of the Rural Landless Employment Guarantee Program. One room, one kitchen attached with latrine, bathroom, and a smokeless chilla is fitted here, and this is constructed under Indira Awas Yojana. That's all about the housing. We'll see in the next chapter. Thank you.